Today I'm making fried quesadillas. There's nothing better than freshly made corn tortillas or anything made with fresh masa, so I'm making empanada style quesadillas and frying them. Empanadas are great because of their versatility. They're basically just stuffed and sealed dough. You can make them sweet or savory and put just about anything in them. My mom makes some really good pumpkin empanadas around the holidays. Our masa is going to need some time to hydrate, so let's start off by adding 1 cup of maseca or yellow corn flour into a bowl, along with 1 teaspoon of flour, half a teaspoon each of baking powder and salt, and mixing evenly. I probably could have left this in the same bowl, but since I didn't, I'm pouring in the dry masa ingredients into a bowl and we're going to add half a tablespoon of oil. Now we're slowly mixing in warm water, a little at a time, until a smooth dough forms. This is the masa we'll be making our tortillas out of. Form it into a smooth ball, cover with plastic wrap, then set aside to hydrate for at least a half hour. Now let's make some sides to dip our quesadillas into. First up, salsa. I'm going to make a fresh salsa that's great for eating with tortilla chips, or in my case today, dipping my quesadillas. This is like what you'd typically get at a Mexican restaurant with your chips. Into a blender, we're going to add 1/8 of an onion, 1 large garlic clove, and 2 small Roma tomatoes, and blend until fairly smooth. Better make that 3 small Roma tomatoes. Salt to taste, I'm adding a teaspoon, along with 1 small red serrano pepper. I want my salsa to stay as red as possible, but you can use green serranos or jalapenos if that's what you have on hand. To add a little texture back to this salsa that would traditionally be made in a molcajete or mortar and pestle, let's mix in about 2 tablespoons each of chopped cilantro and onion. If you're happy with the consistency, you can stop here. I ended up adding maybe half a cup of water to get smoother liquid salsa. Let that sit in the fridge till we're ready for it. Next, let's make guacamole. In a bowl, we're mashing up 3 small avocados with a fork, and we're not necessarily going for a super smooth consistency. As we mix in the other ingredients, the avocado will smooth itself out a little more anyway. Now we're adding in about 3 tablespoons of chopped cilantro and 1/8 of an onion, diced, and mixing to combine. Next, we'll mix in a diced tomato and half a minced jalapeno. Finish it off with about 1 tablespoon of lime juice and salt to taste. For these empanada style quesadillas, let's make some pepper and onion filling, similar to the one I made for my Mexican pizza. I'm cutting 3 large jalapenos in half, scooping out the seeds, and cutting into thin slices. We want these to fit into our quesadillas, so I'm also cutting these down to about 2-inch pieces. Then we're going to peel and slice half an onion. Now we're adding our sliced onion into a preheated and oiled pan, and cooking on medium-low for about 3 minutes, before adding in the jalapenos and some salt to taste. Continue to cook, covered until softened, 20 to 25 minutes, after which we can transfer to a bowl. By now, our masa should have had enough time to hydrate. Let's start off by splitting our ball of masa in 2, then split those in 2. One more time and we're left with 8 somewhat evenly sized balls. I'm using a tortilla press, but you could use a rolling pin or a pan to press your masa. We're going to lay a sheet of plastic wrap on the tortilla press, place a ball of masa on it, and press. I like to flip my tortilla and try to make sure it's evenly pressed and fairly thin. Unfold the plastic wrap, and to 1/2 of the tortilla we're going to add some Chihuahua cheese and a little bit of our filling. We want to make sure there's a clean edge around the fillings so we can seal this. Now you can fold the whole thing and press the edges to seal. To finish these off, we're going to heat maybe half an inch of oil in a pan and fry our quesadillas one at a time on both sides until golden. And set them in a paper towel lined bowl to catch excess oil. Serve with some shredded lettuce, sour cream, salsa, and guacamole, and enjoy. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time.